Looks like we've got a special guest on today's podcast.
Yeah.
Just
Neurotic Al.
Just because he wouldn't get out of my seat. So looks like he's going to be sitting on my knee until someone comes in or there's a noise outside, and then no doubt he will be away.
Yes.
And investigating. You kind of be shaking your head all the time. You happy about this? Is this okay? Yeah, okay. It's I feel like we haven't done this for a long time.
Yeah. So welcome to episode 8.
Oh, it's episode 8.
Yes, we probably should be on episode 15 if we kept to a schedule.
Didn't we say in the last episode that, like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to do this more regular?
Yeah, and I've got it all saved on my phone and I had prompts, but because of you and your news, we've had a delay to the schedule.
Yeah.
So do you want to?
I got a new job.
You did? You did? Completely abandoned us?
Like, do we need to go into the background of it, of how I've, like, reached this opportunity, or it was accessible to us? So, like, you know that The Honest Diver was historically part of the Fifth Point, which was our dive centre. So we made the really tough decision to suspend training, to close that down at the end of last year, for lots of different reasons, but mainly because we wanted to you wanted to concentrate on The Honest Diver, and I maybe wanted to explore some other opportunities that might be out there for us. So at the start of the year, like, I was doing freelance sort of graphic design and illustration and blog writing and that kind of thing. And then I haven't even told everybody this, I'm a trustee of the Reef World Foundation now.
I thought no, we didn't.
No, I didn't mention it because it wasn't official.
Okay.
So it kind of started in January, but it didn't get made official until a couple of months ago recently.
Yeah.
So that's also new news. But the biggest change is that I've had an amazing opportunity to work for the Marine Conservation Society, which is amazing.
Did, yes.
So I feel like everything that I've been doing in the last 10 years, like all of the conservation work and the things that have sparked my interest and had this fire in my belly, have kind of culminated in this amazing opportunity where it was Laura who sent us the job advert. Like, if she hadn't have sent that, I would have been oblivious to that it was out there. So thanks, Laura, for sorting that out. But the job description, it literally looked like it was written for me, didn't it?
It was, yeah. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
When we read through it, it was just, yeah.
Yeah. So the job is, I am now the program manager for Sea Search. So if you don't know what Sea Search is, that is like a citizen science project that is for divers and snorkelers, where we go out and we do surveys of the marine life that is around the UK coast. So yeah, it's awesome. We took the Sea Search Observer training during lockdown.
Yes.
And I loved it. And it was like, I had all these ideas of, yeah, we're going to do like loads of Sea Search surveys on top of all the Dive Against Debris surveys and stuff that we did. And then the business opened up after COVID and it just went mental, and it never happened. Yeah. And then it was actually in my plans last year to do like a bit of a niche sort of marine biology diving training course if the Fifth Point had continued, and that would have included Sea Search training in that. But yeah, it feels really good that I'm still getting involved in that, even though it's been on the back burner for like, I don't know, 3 years or something, 4 years. I'm actually involved in that. Yeah. So it's super exciting. Like, there's loads of work to do. There's so many opportunities. You can tell how, like, I've only been doing it a week and already I'm like, the ideas and everything is spinning in my head. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah, I'm fully aware of that.
It's been quite an intense week.
It has, yeah. Yeah. So because of all that, you haven't had time for me.
I haven't had time for
you. Or The Honest Diver.
No. Well, you know, The Honest Diver was always your baby. It's always been that's your bag. Yeah. That's your thing.
But I'm terrible when it comes to computers, video editing and social media. So.
Yeah.
So there's been a bit of a delay.
There has been a delay, and there will maybe continue to be a delay because obviously
finding a spare weekend and evening where I can peg you down.
Obviously, I'm committed to my full-time job at MCS now,
Yeah.
But I'll still be involved in the Honest Dive. I'm still going to do podcasts and, you know, I just won't be doing any of the day-to-day stuff, which I didn't, you kind of did that anyway. I wasn't really involved in
It's going to be a bit weird if I do this podcast and I'm just looking at an empty seat.
Yeah, what did you watch? Oh, it was the Weird Al Yankovic story. We can get a Hey Boy. You can just put like a scarecrow.
Fair enough. I mean, the scarecrow won't abuse us as much.
Yeah, that's true. I remember, you know, like Woody on Toy Story, where you pull a string and it says like a sentence. Maybe we could set that up so it just says a sentence, so you don't feel too left out.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the news. That's where we're at. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's a very exciting thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's gonna be lots of cool projects going on and stuff like that.
Yeah. It just aligns with everything that we've been doing.
Yeah.
It's just it's just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's messed up the schedule a bit.
Totally messed up the schedule.
I'm working on it.
I know, and people are like, "When's the next episode coming out? I can't believe you haven't done an episode." Like, it's just, it's coming. We're just doing background stuff and getting that sorted.
Sure. Aye.
And I'm sure I'll be talking about C-Search and plugging that a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Get
more people involved. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
That's what you need. Definitely. Yeah. So.
Have you got any news?
Well, I went diving again.
Oh yes, you did.
I did. So that was quite nice. It's weird because like we're in that transition now. Like autumn's here. But it was just gradually getting colder, and then I was like, oh, right, okay. So I was like, I'll take my warm layers, I'll take my big halo, and yeah, it's going to be a nice little... I quite like when it gets colder, because it is cool, but if you get a really nice sunny day, and
it's like cozy.
It's cozy, it's nice.
Yeah.
So I like dive days like that. But then we got there, and it was absolutely roasting.
I know, when you were at, well, I took these... the two for W's. I can't say the word because you'll go mental. But we went for W's, and it was absolutely sweating. I had my hoodie on because it looked so miserable outside. But when I got out there, I was way too hot.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what you guys were like in your undersuits and dry suits.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fantastic day. It's a flat calm. It was dolphins when we were packing up.
Nice. What was the water temperature?
15 degrees. So
tropical.
I didn't put my halo AR on. I was just stuck to my summer layers.
Yeah. And did you see anything nice? Laura said there was a seal bobbing around.
Yeah, it didn't come and play with us, but there was loads of free divers, so I think it might have been harassing them.
Playing with them, not harassing them.
Debatable with seals. Just the usual.
Especially those ones that are in the harbour. They're like, they're used to getting like fed off the fishermen and stuff, aren't they?
So loads of nudies. A crab eating a full pollock.
Yeah.
It was quite funny to watch.
Did you get a video of that?
Matt did, aye.
Right.
So no doubt it's all over his Instagram.
Yeah, What's his Instagram?
Steve-O? I don't know. I never get on this things.
Give us your phone, because mine's... Do you follow him on Instagram?
I don't have Instagram app.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, let's cut that bit out, because I can't remember what it's called. And my phone's recording.
Fair enough. So,
Steve-O Submerged?
Steve-O Submerged.
Is it? That's what it is, isn't it? Steve-O Submerged. I think it's Steve-O Submerged. If it is, this will stay in.
So yeah, I thought, right, a little bit of a shakedown dive, because I've just made some changes to my twin set setup, so I wanted to play around with that. And then the second dive I was like, right, because Steve-O was playing around with his camera, I'm going to take my camera in, have a bit playing, start macro stuff, and I had an hour of sheer frustration. I think I spent 20 minutes just trying to get one photo of a starfish, just to try and get the settings right.
But it was an awesome photo that you showed us.
I don't know if it was awesome.
Oh no, I thought it looked nice.
It was all right. It was in focus.
I just need to readjust my cushion because I'm really uncomfortable. Because Hal's been sitting on it. Okay, better. Sorry.
It was in focus. That was the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, right, cool, got it, and then we started finding loads of tiny nudibranchs, like pinhead size on the algae and stuff. And just getting in, I was like, yeah, it's in focus, because you can see it in the camera, but the exposure is different to what actually gets.
I don't get underwater photography at all.
Yeah, so I got it in focus, and I was like, yeah, I've got loads of min shots, and then I moved away and then looked at my camera, and all of them were just black. And I completely got all the strobe wrong.
It's so complicated.
Yeah, so yeah, and I was going to take down extra lighting and do super macro and do some product shots as well, and yeah, that just all went out the window.
Well, it's good. It's good that you were testing.
Yeah, it was definitely a dive of learning what not to do.
Yeah.
Which does need to happen.
Well, that's one of the things when you're working like as an instructor or whatever, you don't get time to do the stuff for yourself, like the photography and stuff. So I'm not surprised that you've forgotten everything. You haven't really done it for so long.
Yeah. So I mean that was really cool. Enjoyed it. Got a bit of the woohoo.
The what?
Dive buzz back.
I know it. Yeah.
It's like, let's go diving. No, I'm busy. I've got stuff to do.
And well, historically, if you look back at the past couple of years, this has been the best diving time. Autumn's
so that's awesome. What I'm really looking forward to. If it stays like this, we should have a really nice rest of September, October. Yeah. It's usually November when it changes. Yeah. Pretty much bang on the first week.
Well, I came down the coast this morning to work because 8:30 is not a good time to leave our house. The traffic at those lights was backed up all the way to the care home. So,
yeah,
so I went along the coast.
There's roadworks further along.
Oh, is that what it is? Right, it's crazy. So anyway, I went along the coast.
You go through the junction, then you hit another red light. Anyway, this is
if you know where we live, this might be interesting information.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So I went down the coast instead.
Yeah.
I took the long way to work, and it was beautiful. Yeah. It was glorious down the coast this morning.
Yeah.
So I think we're in for a good spell at the minute.
Yeah. I just want because the water temperature is nice. It's 15 degrees, so I don't really want the temperature to drop. It's just nice temperature. I hate the summer heat. But now I'm like, I've got my zero film hoodie, which is nice. But I'm so excited to get my X-Core hoodie out.
Right.
Because that is so snug and warm. Yeah. And it's really nice. And I'm looking forward to put some nice.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. I'm a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know. I'm just quite excited.
You like to be a cocoon. I know that you like to cocoon and sweat inside your cocoon.
Yeah.
Like a weirdo.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to putting some warm layers on. Don't know why. Because I haven't really had a proper summer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, we're rambling. We're going, I think we need to concentrate on what we want to talk about today.
Right. So, the first thing I want to talk about before moving to the nitty gritty is feedback. So, I mean, we do that on this podcast. We're probably preaching to customers who kind of already order from us. So, one of the projects I've got going is going to do a survey. So, I'll be firing across a survey to everyone who's placed an order with us, just to try and find out, are we doing the right thing? Is our packaging right? What's working, what's not working? Because we're developing. Well,
just thinking about that then, what about the people who've looked on the Honest Diver website and gone, oh, actually, I don't want to buy from there? Maybe we can put a survey in the show notes for this.
Yes.
To see, what was it? What was it that turned you off? Was it the prices, or the fact that we didn't have more than likely the products listed? Or what was it? It'd be lovely to know.
Yes, which is my next point. If people coming on the website looking for something and we don't have it, let us know.
Yeah, just give us a shout, because we probably do have it. If it's one thing that you need to do is put a list of the brands that were stock. Oh, there's Hal going. Put a list of the brands that were stock, because if you see the brand of the thing that you want, then we can definitely get you it.
Yeah, I'm slowly plugging away at getting all the products up. But even then, there'll be lots of small bitsy bobsies or products, because our mission is to kind of focus on selling
the stuff that we dive.
Yeah. Good quality kit that we like and we dive,
and that we can give
and blah blah.
We can give an honest opinion about it because we've tested it.
So we're not just going to put a product up for the sake of putting a product up. Yeah. But having said that, there's lots of brands we represent which have lots of products. So yeah, if there's something missing, just drop us a message. I can hook you up. No problem at all. Yeah. Well, that was a nice waffly intro.
It was.
Should we move on to the bubble section?
Yeah. So my bubble is coming from my course director background, and the questions that I often get asked and see online all the time is should I do a professional level diving internship? So should I do a Divemaster internship? Should I do an instructor internship? And we've had dealings with both sides of the argument. I can see positives, I can see negatives. So I thought maybe we could talk through this a little bit and shed some light on whether internships are good or bad.
This could be a whole podcast.
Oh, well, it could be, yeah.
Yeah.
But we can. I hope Hal licking his paw isn't coming up on the microphone. Hal, can you go lick your paw somewhere else? Hal. So maybe we should start by defining what an internship is.
Aye.
So there can be internships where they're completely free and you take your training in return for working for the company.
Basically, dog's body, free labour.
Free labour, dog's body.
Yeah.
There's also internships where you are a paying customer, but the relationship is different because like you're paying to do the training, but at the same time you are a working member of the team. Mm-hmm. So there's kind of two types of internship. The first one is probably the most common that we see in the diving industry. The second one is the way I prefer it, but we can talk about it as we go along. So should we start off with the positives of internships?
Yeah. I mean, it's a cheaper way of doing it.
Yeah.
Rather than just paying to do like an intensive one-on-one training where, because basically you can do the Divemaster course where literally you just one-to-one with the instructor and you're just doing all the scenarios and stuff. So obviously it moves faster because you're not waiting on other students or other courses to run, and your schedule's a bit more easier to organise. Yeah. But generally for that, you're going to have to pay more. Yes.
And I mean, if it is just what people call like a ticky box Divemaster course, where you're literally just going through the what do you call them? Performance requirements of the course. Does that make you a good Divemaster when you come out at the end of it? Have you got the experience? Or is it you just have like a general understanding of your role and the things that you might be asked to do going forward, but if you're just doing a ticky box one, I don't think you get the experience of operating in a team and operating as a Divemaster, which I think is really, depending on what you want to do with the qualification, it's really beneficial.
Yeah, but you can have that with internships as well, to an extent. I think it depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends on the person.
And you don't really start learning properly until you're doing it.
It's like taking your driving test and then actually going out on the road for real. Yeah.
Yeah. So the advantage of the actual internships is where you're doing a proper with students and live customers is you kind of getting that experience a bit earlier. Yeah. So you're kind of getting like a fast track of experience with having someone there to hold your hand.
Yeah. So that's one of the positives. It can be cheaper. You could maybe spend a bit more time acting as a Divemaster to learn what your role is. Other positives?
I mean, it's a great way to get involved in the industry, really, isn't it? Yeah. It's kind of the first step. It's exciting. Yeah. Especially if you like, overseas on cool house reefs and stuff like that. So it all comes down to who's running the program and where it's at, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the team and the instructors, they make it.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So in general, internships can be a great way of getting experience and getting out there working.
Yeah, I would say it was one of the better ways of doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
However, it does come with some disadvantages. Not always, but in our experience, this is what we've seen. So the biggest disadvantage is that you could get used for cheap labour, where the balance between learning and working isn't good, and actually all you're doing is being a tank monkey, and you're like, well, when's my next bit of training? And they're like, oh, yeah, later, and it's so easy for a dive manager or whoever's running the show or organising the training to fall into that, because you're just so busy. Like, you're just so crazy busy, and it's like...
Yeah, like in busy centres and stuff, you just kind of...
Yeah, you start off with the best of intentions, but you just can't follow through because of the pressures that are on you. Yeah.
I mean, it is that, and it just kind of drags on and on and on, and basically all you're doing is just go to the dive centre every day and you're just washing kit, sorting cylinders, organising stuff.
I don't think... the majority of situations on internships where this happens. It doesn't happen like out of malice. It's not planned to happen like that. It just kind of ends up kind of going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who will run Divemaster programs and internships, take the money for the internship, and then use them for a few months, and then they don't finish or whatever, and they kind of.
You'd better get a feel from that. When you do your research on the dive
you end up leaving and moving on, and then you can't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like talking from our personal experience, so I'm thinking of two internees. What's the word?
The idea.
Two people on an internship, in particular, who they were receiving Divemaster training for producing the dive center website.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and they did amazing. The website was stunning. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But so they were doing like the website for the owners of the company, but we had to put their training in our time. And we were busy anyway, so that was really difficult. And we failed them because the relationship went sour, and that was one of the things that the things that I took away from that and learned all about internships and how they should be set up and how they should be managed and the balance between give and take.
Yes.
And we failed them miserably. They still came out at the end with some experience and obviously the Divemaster qualification, but from a personal team type viewpoint, I think we failed them.
Right, okay.
So sorry about that if you're listening. You know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like, what are the things that you want to see in place?
Yeah, so you're looking for whoever your mentor is to have a schedule in place. Like they won't even necessarily be involved in all of the aspects. What they should be doing is delegating to the rest of the team so you can like shadow and work with different members of the team, but you're meeting your performance requirements and everything's getting
yeah, so it is that, because I mean, when you start your Divemaster, you get all the PADI materials anyway, so you can see what the Divemaster course is meant to be.
Yeah.
So it's kind of having that initial session where it's like, these are all the courses and exercises and scenarios you have to do, so having them all listed out and having them scheduled in. That schedule will change, that happens because of courses get cancelled, moved around, weather, blah, 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 but at least you've got that schedule in place where you know where you're meant to be.
Yeah. And there'd be a red flag if like things kept continuously getting knocked back.
Yeah.
And stretched out. That would be a red flag for me. Yeah.
So it's having that, and it's making sure both parties know what the expectations are.
Yes. Like having that initial discussion.
Yeah.
And maybe even having like an agreement in place.
Yeah. So some Divemaster interns, they want to be done in a month, no holds barred, whereas others are like, no, I'm quite happy as long as I'm getting experience. And
want to, like it was the same like me. I wanted to learn everything that I could. About.
So I mean, especially like in the UK, it can be done in a month, but realistically, with like getting enough course schedules and because I mean, you could just sit on one course and that's it, you're done. But actually, it's better if you could sit on 2 or 3, and you can see a bit of progress.
Yeah, so you can see the different barriers that students come up against, and you know the different things that
you learn a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
So, especially in cold water climates, I would say it's better to do it over kind of a dive season.
Yeah,
which is a bit easier if you live there and stuff like that.
But it's very hard for a mentor or a manager to get that balance right because of the pressures that's on them, because there's no money involved, and the trap that they fall into is they're seeing the people who are on the internship is like I don't know how we would describe it, but like they're not the same as a paying customer. They're not treated in the same way as a paying customer, whereas in reality they should be, because they're paying in time and activities carried out for the dive center. But this is where I feel that a paid, where the customer is paying for their internship, is a better relationship. I worry that sometimes that internships devalue the training itself. Good training costs money.
Yes, it does, yeah.
So getting it for free, I sometimes wonder if that devalues the training that you're receiving. And also gives mentors an excuse to not give the best training as well, because it's free. Yeah. So when you are a paying customer and you pay for your internship, then there is straight away a contract and understanding between people that you're a paying customer and you should be treated as such. And then the flip side of this is it's really difficult to then get that paying customer involved in the staff team, because that's what they need to do. And the difference is, like, that's a whole different ball game to manage. But the foundations of it, I think, are set in they're set up in a better way to build a good relationship and to meet expectations and stuff. So yeah, what's my point? I think you should pay for good training. Although internships can be a great way when you're skint, you've got to be aware of the pitfalls of it. But hopefully, when you pay for your training, you get what you pay for, basically.
Yeah, but it all comes down to just doing your research, doing your homework, finding out somewhere where you want to be, making sure you get on with the team. There's a nice atmosphere amongst the team. That's
the most important thing about choosing a mentor. You've got to make sure you click with them. You've got to make sure that you hold the same values and, you know, share the same kind of beliefs about the ocean and the diving industry and stuff. Yeah. That's the most important thing, I think. Yeah. Because if you don't click with your mentor, then that's it, you're screwed. Yeah. You'll just butt heads the whole way through, and you'll just, especially if you're on like where you're not paying for your internship, it's a tricky one to navigate.
Yeah, and then just have them clear goals, dates, schedules, planned end date and stuff like that in place. Just get everything black and white before you start.
Definitely.
Because that's when things get messy. If you haven't agreed stuff and then you get to know each other and blah, 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 things just start getting...
The hardest thing about working in the diving industry is that, I mean, it sounds cliche to say it, but it's like working with your family. Like your team kind of, like, especially if you're living abroad and working in a tropical dive centre, the people who you work with are like your brothers and sisters. You eat with them, you drink with them, you go party with them, you dive with them, you work with them, and it's a weird, it's not like any other relationship, like work relationship I've ever seen or been in. Yeah. But it's also awesome. Like the time that you have during your course or your internship or however you want to do it is just awesome. It's so much fun. Yeah. And it opens up so many doors to having it as your career. Like look at where we are. Yeah. From being little baby dive masters to, you know, where we are now. It's really cool.
Yes, it's potentially the start of a fantastic journey.
Yeah, I never thought.
Memories.
If you'd asked me when I was like, I don't know, 20, in my early 20s, if this would be the industry that I worked in, I'd be like, nah. I can't believe just like from learning to dive. Literally, when I started to learn to dive, I looked at the PADI flow chart and I saw where I was at little baby open water diver, and I saw course director, and I was like, yeah, I'm going there. And it was like everything just flipped, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Yeah, it's awesome.
Fair enough.
And look where we are now. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, I think that's enough about Divemaster Interns.
Cool. So we had a question recently from a diver who is diving in the UK. They don't know what to choose, dry gloves or wet gloves.
Yes, so we do get this a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, dry gloves all the way.
Yeah.
I'd live in my dry gloves.
Well, I'm saying I can't get away with them. I've never actually tried them because I don't need them. Like, everybody says I'm a freak because I come out with my hands warmer than when I went in the water.
I know, you're weird because like you've got cold hands on land, but if you go diving, you come out with warm hands.
That's because I'm in my natural environment.
So I remember when I used to come out with freezing cold, wet hands, it would always put my hands in yours.
Yeah, you go like this. Everybody's like this, and I'm warming up their hands after
warming up their hands. Yeah. Just weird.
So yeah, this is over to you because I have zero like knowledge of dry gloves other than helping people put them on before they jump in the water.
Yeah. So obviously dry gloves keep your hands drier. Because they've got air in them, they keep your hands warmer. You still got to wear like liners underneath.
Yeah.
So that's providing the thermal. So the benefit is you can kind of alter and play around with that. So you can have very thin layers or no layer underneath if you wanted.
Like in the summer.
Yeah, in the summer, and then in the winter you can start putting thicker, warmer gloves underneath. So it gives a bit more flexibility in changing. I suppose with wet gloves you can go from like a 3mm or no wet glove to the 5mm.
Yeah.
I think the dry gloves will keep you warmer than any wet glove.
What about dexterity? Because the thicker of a wet glove you go, you know, if you go in 5mm, 7mm mitts, you lose your dexterity. You've got sausage fingers. So how does that compare to a dry glove?
it can kind of be the same, especially if you start going like the really thick gloves. So the Fourth Element Halo AR gloves are really quite thick. They're like the big thermal ski gloves. The Santi gloves are similar as well, but they're designed in a way where they are still quite flexible. So I think your dexterity is still better than the wet glove.
Right.
It's something about the neoprene, like the neoprene does kind of restrict your finger movement, and because there's air in the dry glove, you kind of still feel through the glove, whereas I think you lose that with a neoprene. And
do you see a difference underwater versus on land? Like, because underwater the air's going to shrink around the glove, and
yeah, so that does help a lot.
Yeah.
So the fact the water compression will kind of shrink the glove to you.
Yeah.
The outer glove to you.
Underwater, do you have more dexterity compared to on land? So if you're like fettling with your kit and stuff on land, right?
It is easy in the water. I mean, the main thing with dry gloves, it's trying to think what word I'm thinking of here, but basically there's a bit of a blockage because you're going to have to practice with them. So it's not just like a wet glove you can just throw on and away you go. All right, there's issues, but you get used to it very quickly. Whereas with dry gloves, there's a lot more involved, especially when you're hot and bothered and putting kit on, then you try and put the dry glove on. That's usually where people start getting frustrated with. So it's just a case of practicing, putting it on and off, and then also just like any like PPB, when you're working with gloves and trying to handle screws and stuff, it's harder. So it's the same, just put the dry gloves on and practice clipping on and off. I was
just going to say, like, that's how I got my dexterity in the thicker wet gloves, because I just left them on all day, and so I forced myself to change tanks with them on and, you know, fiddle with stuff with them on, so I kind of got used to it. I suppose it'd be exactly the same with dry gloves, just persevere until you get that muscle memory going.
Yeah. And I mean, well, it depends on the gloves you're using. So these are the ones we've got on my website. That the beauty of these is the double lined, so it's like 2 bits of latex.
Right.
So it makes them tougher.
Right.
So I've had these, well, a season, and I haven't put a hole in yet.
Right.
But these are a bit bulkier. I mean, put them on, you can see how massive they are on my fingers.
Well, you need a bit of space for your liners and gloves.
Yes, that's what I mean. These are designed, like I can wear the small or the extra large.
Right.
But obviously with the small, I can only get a really thin liner in. The extra large is probably a little bit too big, but it's doable.
So you can have a range and just pick.
Yeah, so you could have a range
to match the conditions.
Yeah. But I find most people struggle with these, especially people with very small hands.
Little hands.
Because like I said, I can wear the small, and generally I should be a large.
Right.
So the small is kind of big, but that's because the small is allowing for the very thick underlayers.
Right.
So the solution that is, there's lots of rubber gloves. You can find them in most like DIY.
PPE like a marigold type.
Yeah, I mean you don't want the marigolds themselves because they're too thin.
Right.
You'll just rip them straight away.
Right.
But it's very similar to marigolds and the like chemical gloves, chemical resistant gloves.
Right.
So a lot of industries use them. So they're just
they come in like tougher. Proper like different sizes as well, don't they?
Yeah, so they come in a big range of sizes. Yeah. So we will start putting them on the website, purely because most people who are talking about these, it's just finding the right one because there's so many.
Right.
So finding the right one that'll work with the system, that's easy to attach to the system, and also to get the size right to allow you to put gloves in, because them gloves are designed for just hands. Not to wear the thermal layers.
Right.
And some of them have weird like wrist designs and stuff like that. So it's just finding the one that works. So they exist.
Yeah. And I suppose if you have a latex allergy as well, then there are other
options. So there's lots of other options, so you don't have to use them.
Yeah.
So yeah, all them gloves kind of exist. We'll put them on the market on our website as well, just purely to make it easier.
Yeah.
But yes, you can go on other companies who buy them in bulk and get it cheaper. It's
Okay.
I'm not going to hide that.
So that's the glove itself, but what about like how do they connect to your dry suit?
Yeah, so they all come with a system of some description.
That's wet. Is that what you had on yesterday?
Yeah.
Why is it wet?
Yeah. So they all come with like some form of ring system where the glove attaches. Usually you buy an O-ring or something like that. So the gloves attach to that system, and then basically in your dry suit you're going to have another plastic ring in this case. There's lots of different ones on the market. So in your suit itself there'll be something glued into the suit.
Right.
which allows this to kind of go in and click into the suit.
Right.
And that's got an O-ring on. So then basically you get in your suit, put your liners on, get everything set up, and then this will click in.
Right.
And this clicking in is usually the hardest part.
Yeah, that's what I help people with before they jump in, and I'm like, nah!
Yeah.
So it's just practice. There's like a knack to it, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
as soon as you get the knack,
they've all got the little idiosyncrasies.
Oh, they're quirks.
Yeah. So like sometimes it's a case of looping the O-rings. Some it's don't loop the O-ring, loop the inside of the glove ring.
Right.
And some are easier than others to put on and off.
Right.
So just finding what works, and like I said, practice, and hopefully have a nice buddy or shop cover who's willing to help you.
So these systems can be retrofitted to any suit? Is there any limitations or?
Right, so this system here, this is the lips fulfillments, it's plastic rings. So this is what I've got in my suit. But this plastic ring system is basically designed for the Cytec system.
Right.
So anyone who comes with, who has a dry suit where you've got replaceable seals.
Yep.
So you can take the seal off and change latex, silicone, blah, 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 without it being glued in.
Yep.
Will probably, and if it's a plastic one, like this shape, it's more than likely the Cytec system.
Right.
The Cytec system's the predominant one.
Right, so it might already be in people's dry suits already.
So it might already be glued and prepped. So now it's just a case of buying a manufacturer's glove system.
Yeah.
And then popping out, putting all the O-rings on and fitting it.
Right.
It's very straightforward to do.
Right.
So examples that will work with that Cytec have got their own range. Fourth Element's ellipse system is designed to work with that. Waterproof have got the Ultima, which is also a very good system. That is one of the better ones that are compatible with the Cytec. We're not a waterproof dealer, so we don't sell it. But that's a very good system as well.
Right.
Then,
if you don't have this already in your suit?
So if you don't have this already in your suit, then it's a case of finding someone who does dry suit repairs like ourselves or someone else, and they can glue the system into your suit.
Right.
That's a case of talking to them and figuring out, because it depends on the suits, the wrist size on the suits. If there's not someone already glued in,
right.
It's best to get this done at the point of ordering a suit.
Right. Okay. So, question. If my suit doesn't have the system in it, and I want you to put the system in, and you do, and then I don't like it, then what? What's my options? I don't want to use, you've put it in, but I don't want to use dry gloves because I don't like it.
Right. Then, yeah, so then you've got that system in, that's fine. You just don't use the dry gloves.
Oh, yeah, so you can just put the seals in.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right,
so this would fit into your suit, but this would have the silicone or the latex seal attached to it.
Got it.
And you don't have to use the dry gloves.
Right, so it would still work. I haven't like
your dry
totally
suit,
messed my whole
your dry suit will still work with the wet gloves.
Because that would be my thought of if I was considering to change it. I've never used it before, so how do I know if I'm going to like it? So at least there's like all right, you try it, you don't like it, but there's an option.
Yeah, so most stock suits and off-the-shelf suits pretty much come with a system kind of already prepped on it. And you just wear wet gloves, and then you can add the dry gloves later and retrofit it.
So in that case then, when you're buying a new suit, you might as well get this regardless of whether you're going down the dry glove or wet glove.
Talking with the dry suit manufacturer or the supplier and find out which one that fits and which one you want to go down with. So there is lots on the market. Like I said, these all fits. Fourth Element, the waterproof one, fits with the Cytec system or the Cytec's own. Fourth Element are about to start bringing over the Pacific Systems, the PSI, have got their own system, which is metal rings, which kind of fit on and lock, which are a lot easier to use. But the lip system's 115 quid. Whereas this one's going to be like 225 quid because basically it's metal rings. So there's lots of different variables on it. Like I said, this can be a bit tricky to put on and off.
I was going to ask how much it would cost for you to put it on someone's suit.
Couldn't tell you. I think the glue-in ring system is probably about 100 quid or something thereabouts.
And then how long does it take you to do
it?
Depends on the suit, I suppose.
Yeah, it just depends on the suit, a couple of days. So come to that, that's basically, neoprene suits have got a very defined wrist, so they're very tricky to fit with this. It's mainly tri-lam suits. If you kind of got one with a very narrow wrist, you're kind of going to have to start cutting and expanding the material to be able to fit the diameter of that ring.
And then you're shortening the sleeve.
And you're messing around, so that's where somebody like me, it's too much. It's going to have to go to a dry suit manufacturer who can add on and do that. There is ways and options, so it's best just to.
But you've done like a few on tri-lamp suits now, haven't you?
Yeah,
Installed quite a lot.
Yeah, so it is possible. So talking of that, there is the Kubi system. That is a very good system. One of the main ones on the market that everyone uses. Metal rings, dead easy to use on and off. That one just does have some issues with retrofitting because it's got nice big rings to make it easier to get on and off, which is one of the beauties of it. But then fitting it to a dry suit that hasn't had a system fitted,
it might not be wide enough.
So that's a case of sending it to one of the many dry suit manufacturers and getting them to fit it for you, or getting it fitted at the point of contact.
So I guess
there is a couple of ways around it, but yeah.
I guess if you're thinking about going down the dry glove route, just give him a shout and he'll talk you through the options that are available to you.
Yeah, and just because I mentioned it, so on the Avatars and Santis, they've got their own system.
Yeah.
Very similar, but it's flexible rather than plastic.
Because I don't know how to use these, I have never connected one successfully. Like if you haven't been here and I've had to help somebody, I'm just like, I can't do this.
Yeah. But
it's really not that, it's not that difficult, and I don't know why I can't get the knack of it.
Like outside of the SciTech system, I love this.
Yeah, when you do it, just goes clunk and it's on, and I'm like, and it's getting all folded when I do it.
Yeah, but it's dead easy. It just goes on and it just pops on. You get a clip.
It literally just pops on.
But I like it because it's nice and flexible, but it's only available on Santi and Avatar suits. So you can't retrofit this.
Okay.
But nearly all Santi and Avatar suits will come prepped ready
with that as standard
to add that on.
Okay.
But that's just to mention that over system, which is very nice.
Nice.
So yeah, dry gloves or wet gloves. Depends on if you're going down the dry gloves, it's fine. Just prepare for a bit of practice and get used to
bedding in.
Yeah. And you get the benefit, which is the main reason why I always use dry gloves now, even in the summer, is my hands are dry when I come out.
Right.
Which is a big difference for me, because as soon as you come out, your hands warm up straight away.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas wet gloves, you've got a bit of a wait, and also salt and wet, dry.
Yeah, your skin doesn't like that, does it?
Yeah, it just trashed my fingers.
And then I know for divers who have like Reynards and stuff, it's a big help for them as well.
Yeah, and yeah, people with Reynards, you can then start adding heated gloves in and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's a lot more options.
Nice. So the next diver question, divers are asking if there's any products available that help you identify your buddy underwater. Like if everybody's wearing the same gear and it's hard to tell, is there anything that helps them stand out?
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
I mean, this is a bit. So people do use like the strobes, but if everyone's got a white strobe on, then
they're all the same again.
Yeah, they're all the same again.
Right.
So you can use like glow sticks, the chemical markers.
Single use.
Single
you can
use.
get those rechargeable. Do we not have a rechargeable one at one point though?
Yeah, so there's a couple of manufacturers who do one that is kind of like a light.
Yeah, it was like a flasher, but you could get different colours.
Yeah, and you can get different colours. So there's a few manufacturers doing them, but I don't think any other suppliers do.
Right.
And I mean, they work. There's just salt and sand and stuff.
Yeah.
They're not as well like the O-ring seals aren't as robust as what you would get on a dive torch.
Right.
But they are quite cheap as well. So yeah, there is options of like putting them on, and especially if there's a colour range, then it makes it a bit easier to spot. I just find it's a light, and can be annoying. Yeah.
I think if I'm diving behind somebody where their proper strobe's going off, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have like a lip fit or something.
Yeah. So I mean, there's lots of options out. For me, it's just having the foresight, especially if you're like on a charter and stuff like that, and you're just getting buddied up with different people each day. It's just having that foresight as part of your like buddy checks and stuff. Is what colour fins you wear? Yeah. What's your mask look like?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And just making that visual note. You know, sometimes like people will do it like, like dive guides quite often do this, where they're like, all right, I'm the one with the pink fins.
Yeah. Or they'll have mismatched fins.
Yeah. So you can do that with a lot of manufacturers now with all the colour ranges.
Yeah.
You have
one blue, one yellow or something, yeah.
And that really does help you stand out.
And if you're particularly creative, I love it when people draw an art on them. Is this what Emma did for you?
It is,
Yeah.
So mine is drawn with a bit of octopus tentacles.
Do you know what paint you used to make that stay on?
It was pens.
Right.
It's like a epoxy paint pen or something.
Right.
And then you draw that on, and then there's like a clear coat varnish,
Right.
which you kind of spray can on a couple of times. I think she's probably sitting there going, no, it's not. But I mean, that's lasted 2 years, I think. So I mean, probably needs redoing, but it's just simple and effective. I mean, some people just use the white paint pens and or Tipex. If you're personally creative, you can just do that and just keep redoing it.
Like putting your name on a fin is super helpful, I think.
Yeah, especially for like dive leaders and stuff like that. It does make life a bit easier.
And also, I used to write my name on my SMB in big letters as well. So when my SMB went up, the crew on land knew it was me. You
go to some places and the skippers kind of insist on that. But that's mainly so the skipper knows.
Yeah.
Not much use to your buddy.
Oh no, it's not no use to the buddy bit.
Unless you're flailing it around, you're like, it's just fanning out behind you. But I'm pretty sure that'll be enough to notice you.
You'd be like a tourist guide, you know, when they hold up their umbrella or something. Be like that.
I did laugh because the one time I did go on social media, one with all people who used to work with, she was going diving with a big metal flamingo.
Who was that?
Jen.
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
Well, I don't know why. There was obviously a story behind it. I think she was using it as a pointer or something. But a big, massive metal flamingo.
That would definitely make you stand out.
Yeah, that would, yeah.
You can get
bit excessive.
Slap straps with your name on. You can get like customized slap straps to put on the mask.
I've never seen them.
Yeah, you get. Don't ask us where you get them from, but I have seen people wearing them.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you could get a plain one and do the same like you do with your fins, like right on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a manufacturer in the UK and they make one that goes over your inflator hoses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there is options out there.
I've also seen dive guides have like a little floaty animal, like a Nemo or something, so it's attached to their BCD. It's kind of like a marker, so that helps them stand out as well. There's not specific products, diving products, but there are things that you can, like creative things you can do to help. But then again, it all comes down to what you first said. It's like you need to tell your buddy and your team, this is me, that look out for my flamingo, look out for my umbrella. It comes down to that good communication at the start, especially when you're diving with somebody new.
So this is probably a good point. Strobes. Yeah. Because we mentioned strobes. Yeah. We've finally got.
They're back in stock.
The shark strobes back in stock.
The most popular product of the last couple of months has been this, and it's been out of stock for ages.
Yeah. So it is back.
To get your orders in quick before they go out of stock again.
But a lot of people have been asking how bright it is.
Oh, right.
So I did take it go diving, but I've already said about how my camera photography went, so I didn't get around to doing it. So I will get some underwater footage of this at some point.
Oh, I thought you were going to set it off now.
But I am going to set it off now.
Right, well, we've got all the studio lights on though.
So, to show you how bright it is.
You're going to put the light... Right, okay. Oh my God. I've still got my fish tank light on. Oh, I've still got my plant lights on as well.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Good enough idea. So, are you ready? It's like a, I don't know, Gandalf wand or something. Magic wand. Like you do
Stop
some
putting it in my
karaoke.
face.
So you can see it is quite bright. I mean, if you stare at it, it does hurt.
It's leaving marks on my eyes.
Yeah, so it is a very bright strobe on the market, and to fire it on. Apologies, we should probably have an epilepsy warning on this.
Yeah, I'll put that on the trigger.
Yeah, epilepsy warning afterwards. Apologies. So yeah, I think it's bright. Like I said, I've had it 30 meters on the wrecks in the UK. And
and it's good in low vis as well. Definitely good.
Yeah, because we've used it as little bum tail lights. So it does the job of.
There is something about a strobe that is reassuring. Like when the vis is low and you're like, oh, I'm not sure where they are, and you see the strobe in the distance, you're like, oh, I found them, it's fine. Yeah. There's something reassuring about a strobe. Yeah. There's something also very annoying about a strobe when you're right in front of it.
Yeah, I'm still seeing the flashes. So apologies for that, guys. But anyway, that gives you an idea.
Cool.
Shall we move on?
Let's. Can we have a break so I can get my vision back? Jimmy, what is your product of the week?
Well, I did a bit of a product placement.
Product placement. You have to disclose that, you know.
Disclose what?
If we're in like a movie or something.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it's okay on a podcast that is about products.
It's just So it's not really a product. We're going to talk about cutters.
Oh, so in general.
In general, okay. So yeah, cutters. People quite often like they're like, oh yeah, I want a knife.
Like Crocodile Dundee
Yeah,
knife.
and it's just
Those days are gone. When you've got like a massive knife strapped to your leg to go diving, those days are gone.
I remember I went through so many knives because them leg straps just never worked. You put them on wrong or something like that, or you just
It used to be like a status symbol, wasn't it? Like the bigger the knife, the better the diver.
Yeah, just them big things on the leg, big Rambo knives
that never ever got used.
Nah, I mean it does make it look like Action Man.
Yeah.
So I mean they're still there. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just kind of it's a big sharp point, and you're more likely to damage yourself, something cool, or your kit.
Yeah, or the rib.
Yeah.
The inflatable boat.
Then you are to actually use it. I still have not found a use for an actual knife.
Only like if there was a big rope on a fishing net or something. But even then, it's like you need like a saw. Or
even then,
better.
you're like hacksaw's better.
Yeah.
So like the ones with the serrated, I think work better.
Yeah, and the chances of getting tangled in like a big thick rope like that you can't untangle easily yourself is like pretty slim.
So I mean, if like on boats and props, it is handy to have something big and be able to cut it. But that's usually on the boat, so you can stay on the boat.
Yeah.
And like I said, a hacksaw works better than most knives. So the only logical reason is one, macho points to show off, and two is if you were the diver who likes to go hunting or something, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose. We're not really into that.
But yeah, that's the only logical reason I can think. But even then, for hunting, I don't know, you're probably better off just with a spear gun than you are with a knife. So having said that, we're going to talk about some cutters, and what we're going to talk about is line cutters.
Yeah, this is the tool that I use all the time because I'm taking out net and, sort of thinner things.
Yeah, so it's more likely it's going to be thin fishing line or fishing net, monofilament basically, if you are going to get tangled. So, snazzy cutter. This is the Cut Heroes.
I've got one of these, really nice.
Yeah, I like the fact just because the colour range.
Yeah.
So we used to have the Easy Cuts, which is the main one on the market because like fire services and stuff have them.
Is that sort of thing? Like, why don't we have them anymore?
Because they used a metal blade, so rusting was an issue.
Oh, so you decided not to get them anymore?
Yeah, right, there was a bit of politics in the dive distribution chain of it.
But that was a thing because my Easy Cut blade, like you could swap them out because it's just a razor blade.
You could swap them out and change them.
But they just got rusty straight away.
Yeah, but I mean they still work when they're rusty.
Yeah.
So they on the market, seatbelt cutters and stuff like that, they all kind of work. But what I like about these, apart from funky colours, nice bright orange, is it's a ceramic blade now. So that blade, you can still change it out if you want, but because it's ceramic coated, it's not going to get rusty.
Yeah.
And they are sharp.
Sharper than a metal blade?
On par.
On par.
I think the beauty of the metal is this will probably blunt a bit quicker than the metal one, especially if you're doing daft things with it. But I find that better cut monofilament than metal blades.
Yeah, and I prefer how it's sheathed.
Yeah.
So, I'm proper clumsy, so an open blade is just asking for trouble, but this, you cannot really cut yourself on it.
No, and that is pretty much, it's monofilament.
Yeah.
And then also, like, if you need to just cut a cable tie or a bit of string, you're re-rigging something. And the main thing is, it should be capable of cutting through a harness in a rescue.
Yes, and just talk quickly about where you can put it.
It's hard to show on here, but it's basically got the 50mm webbing slot there.
Yeah.
So it'll go on any webbing anywhere.
Yeah, you could put it like shoulders, waistband, anything.
So it depends on where you're reaching. So in my side mount kit, I've got them on my shoulders because that's easier to reach.
Yeah.
On all my back mount kit, it's next to the buckle
and
waistband. Or you can put it on your computer.
Yeah.
So I've got one on the bungee straps on my computer as well.
Because in theory, you should kind of have two, in case you can't reach one, then you should be an alternative that you can reach.
So both arms should be able to reach it.
Yeah.
So whatever's easier and simpler. And like I said, it should be able to cut through webbing, which they cut through webbing.
Oh, like it's just butter.
Yeah. So that's kind of one, especially if you're using wings and stuff. But if you do want a more proper knife, the one we've got is the Aquilon ones. These come in a big range. They do have a Action Man version, but the micro squeeze is all you need. So this just goes in a plastic sheath, which again goes on the webbing or whatever.
And it like clips in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just locks in, and then you've got the squeeze clip to release. So this is the sheep foot one. So you've kind of got that line cut a bit on,
And then you've got your serrated edge for the
But
bigger stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's quite nice having that and then that in case you do need to cut through rope.
Right.
Especially if you like dive against debris
Yeah.
and recovering and helping recover lobster pots
Yeah.
or any rope tangle. It does come in handy to have. And then you can change them out so you can get different colours.
Yeah.
I haven't got that on the site yet, but so you can get funky colours to personalise it. So they're very nice.
Where can that one go?
So on webbing.
Only you can't. Can you put it on your computer? It's a bit hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean you could if you wanted.
Not as flexible as the Cut Hero one.
Yeah. But it's nice and small. I mean, in terms of size.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the sheath to go on top of that, but yeah, so it is a nice option. Or
this one, I don't even know what's in this box.
We can go for a bit of bling. I mean, I've just put it there. Just
it looks like a watch.
Yeah, it comes in a very, very nice box, which I wasn't expecting. So kudos on that. It feels like a bit of prestige. Oh, look at that. So this comes basically with a nice pouch like this. So there's lots of different ways of mounting, but this is going to mount basically onto your webbing.
Right.
Or it could just be a tool for on land, and I'm tempted just to get it just for that.
Oh, it's like what are those? What Leatherman? It's like it looks like Leatherman.
Yeah, so it's kind of going into that multi-tool use. So it does have the belt clip on there. So I think this is more handy just
in your toolbox.
In your toolbox, yeah, just to have for doing stuff on land. So it is a blunt tip, so you can't stab anyone, but you do have that.
Yeah.
That metal blade, the serrated blade, and then it's got the line cutter blade on it as well, so it covers all three options. And you can have the whole coolness of flick knife.
Oh my god!
If you want a bit of boy toy, but yeah, it also comes with extra tools. So it's got, I don't know how well the camera will show up this, but it's basically got spanner bits.
Oh right, yeah.
So it's the standard 3 sizes. I mean, yeah, it's kind of, if you've forgotten something, it's just you need to quickly tighten up a nut.
Just like common scuba type sizes.
Yeah, but the main thing I like on it is that is the slot for the oxygen bottles.
Oh, right, to open it.
So on the medical,
it's a key, right?
right. So it's an additional key.
Right.
Obviously, generally, them bottles have got the key with them, but it's just, if you've lost that key or whatever, and it's an emergency, you do have a backup option on that. Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty. The main reason I would say it's a surface tool is because to sheathe it, it's this, you've got to push like a metal clip to the side.
That is just asking for trouble for me. That's going to slice through my thumb.
Yeah, that's the one flaw I've got on that. That is very nice. Open it's very nice, but like, I don't know if you can see, there's basically a metal bit which you kind of have to push to the side, which allows you to close it.
Right.
And I imagine with cool hands or dry gloves, that's going to be difficult to do underwater. It's doable, but it could have been better. But yeah, surface tool.
Cool.
Very nice. So that brings us to the end of episode 8. So what's upcoming? What excitement we'll go?
I am very much in the deep dive, pun intended, into everything I need to know for my new job. So I'm not going to think about Honest for a little bit because I have like too much information to get into my brain.
When are you going to start your Latin lessons?
Well, this I do not need to have. I believe that I do not need to have extensive knowledge of marine life Latin names because my team are experts and I will never ever be as good as them. So I'm going to rely on my team. I will. The thing with me is when I'm absorbed in something, I take on all that information. So everything that we learned on the observer course when we did it, it's gone because it's been replaced by other stuff that was more important. Yeah. But now that I'm working in it, I'm sure I'll pick up everything. But I will never be the level that they are. No way.
Yeah. That's it.
I will lean on their expertise.
Yeah, using the experts in your team.
Yeah.
I like that strategy. Good strategy. If conditions stay like this, I think I'm just going to be in with my camera all the time.
Yeah.
getting product shots underwater.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah,
you
obviously.
know,
Yeah.
working.
Product reviews. I did some at the weekend.
Did you?
Yeah. So I took the Halcyon spools for a trial run, see what I think of them, so
right.
I can do some honest reviews on them.
Any good?
Yeah, quite liked it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I'm going to get a video of the strobe underwater.
Yeah.
Get that deployed. I try to do some like Instagram videos of like unpacking my bag, but yeah, you're probably not going to like it.
I'll have a look. Did you? The main thing is, did you have a storyboard, or have you just made stuff up?
Yeah.
You've made stuff up, haven't you?
I had a storyboard in my brain. Communicating that was a different story.
Yeah. Well, I guess, you know, as always, if you have any questions, you can send them in to us at hello@thehonestdiver.com. You can also like leave questions in the comments on wherever you're watching this video or listening to this podcast. And it would be amazing if you could like, share, rate, subscribe.
Yes.
Tell your buddies all about the Honest Diver podcast.
Yeah. Spread the love.
Spread the love.
All about spreading the love. And yeah, get in touch. Be nice to hear about what people think.
Yeah.
We're on the right track.
Yes. Oh yeah, with the feedback stuff. So look out, if you've placed an order already with us, look out for this feedback email that's coming. If you've been on our website and you haven't bought, we'd love to know why. So check out wherever the feedback form link is around this video.
Yeah, definitely.
It'd be much appreciated.
Yes. That's a wrap.
Nice. Okay, bye.
Bye.